finishes in, the Tim and Neil, probably more like Liam Finn, really. But anyway, I digress. Playing the full name of the track.
You're listening to the Radio Wammo Breakfast, only on Kiwi.
All right, let's talk TV with Hamish Coleman-Ross from Throng TV, throng.co.nz/TV, and Hamish CR on Twitter. Good morning, Hamish.
Good morning, Wammo. How are you?
Very well. First up today, we're talking Murray Mexted.
Yes. So, Murray Mexted, to those who don't know, is a 16-year-long veteran of sports commentary on Sky Sport. He's the man who tells you what's going on in the rugby.
You either love him or hate him.
Yeah, you do. Yep. Yeah, he's always had that love-hate, but they always say, to be a great broadcaster of any kind is to polarise your audience. So definitely Murray succeeded in doing that. But Murray spoke out about what the NZRU is planning to do next year with the Air New Zealand Cup. Yeah. And he quite simply said, if they drop a team from that, I think they're idiots or they've got rocks in their head or something to that effect.
Yes.
NZRU took huge issue with this, totally overreacted, put some massive pressure on Sky, and he has been stood down.
From Sky?
From Sky, probably indefinitely, as a commentator, because he dared speak out against the mighty New Zealand Rugby Union.
Depends on what's in his contract, whether or not he had some kind of independence with his opinion from Sky, or what he sees as Sky's kind of point of view. But
I think, when you've got someone who's a commentator, and someone who's had as much time in that sphere as he has, I doubt that there would be anything. I mean, even if there is something about, comments that could bring the sport into disrepute, I don't think that particular comment would fall foul of the line.
Right.
So I was really surprised about it. Murray is a very interesting character. Years ago I heard the story from Phil Gifford. There was a article called "What's Going On in Murray Mexted's Mind," and he apparently saw it and he goes, "Oh, did you see that article about me?" It's like, this is what's going on in Murray's head. I don't even know what's going on in my head half the time.
Yeah.
And he's a very spontaneous, very, very, he's a very warm character. But I just think as far as broadcasting goes, it's a real interesting sleight of hand,
Well, the cynic in me would say that this is just a wee ploy to get publicity for Murray from Sky.
Well, potentially you could say that, but he's definitely being used as a puppet then, and I think the bigger question here is being, how big and mighty to the NZRU you think they are. And a little interesting side note on that, the All Whites, when they played, had over 380,000 people watching. That's right up there with any All Blacks test.
Is it?
That's right up there. So, in fact, it surpasses most rugby games in this country.
The winners at the moment, let's just wait and see until they're losers. And see what
yeah.
they get.
yeah, but I think I had a friend who was at that game, and this complete side note, but he said, he was at the game, and there was no cheerleaders, there was no halftime entertainment, there was no mascots or anything, and yet everyone was quite happy.
Yeah. And maybe no annoying music as well.
Not a fan of that.
No, not a fan of the music between overs on cricket.
Looking forward.
Yeah. Looking forward. Let's look forward to 2010. What's going
on?
Woo!
2010! Yes. TVNZ had this massive deal last Monday. I went along to it there at the Sky City Convention Centre, and they had a message from the future. And it was a message from the end of... The whole presentation was as if it was from the end of 2010.
Right.
Completely OTT.
Yeah.
All done for an advertising crowd, mostly.
Yeah.
Very entertaining. I really, really did enjoy what the promos department had done in cutting it together. It was fantastic. But yeah, just seeing how their lineup's going to be, when shows are going to be on, how they're going to fill some of those big old gaps. So there's some interesting shows. There's a lot of big shows coming out in America in the last sort of 2 or 3 months. So it was interesting to see who's divvied it up and where they're thinking things are going to work.
So what are some of the highlights for you?
Well, again, one of the highlights was to see that, we've got, again, Lost is going to be back, and it's going to be at a decent airtime.
Is that the final season?
This is the final season of Lost. But Jane Wilson, who's head of programming, she made a really interesting comment. She said, "And it's our pleasure to announce that the final season will be simulcast with the States." And so we went,
good move.
Oh. So does this mean it's going to play one day in the States and then we'll get it here the next day?
Yeah.
Anyway, I went and asked her afterwards, and she goes, "Oh no, well it depends. They haven't announced when they have, and they have now. So it's going to be broadcast on a Tuesday, which would be a Wednesday our time, which would actually be a few hours before 9:30 on a Wednesday. So Will TVNZ meet the challenge and have it sent to them hot down the satellite? Or will we have to wait a whole week, maybe even 2? So when I asked her about the simulcast comment, she said that it was a liberal use of the word simulcast.
Oh, come on, there's only one meaning of simulcast, and
I
that's
know!
at exactly the same time.
She denied saying it for a start, and I was like, I got like 3 people over here that heard you as well, mate. So that was interesting.
But the wider issue there is obviously they're trying to curb downloads.
They are, definitely, and they know that it's an issue. One of the things that wasn't mentioned in the room, it was like the big elephant in the room, nobody mentioned about Freeview or TiVo or MySky and being able to record stuff and be able to fast forward through the ads.
Yep.
I met one advertiser who told me, no, it's actually better because it means that you can rewind and watch that ad again and retain the information more directly. And I went, who the hell does that?
Yeah.
Who does that? Nobody does that. Who fast forwards through it and then sees that, that split second of a blender and goes, oh, Briscoe's is having a sale?
Better go.
No way.
Another sale?
I thought it was crap. But no, also Saturday nights they're doing the Bondathon.
Yeah, right.
So that's going to be all 22 Bond films back to back on TV1.
Great.
Friday nights they're tackling comedy. Lee Hart, aka That Guy from Sports Cafe days. He's got a new show where he travels around the world investigating mysteries of humanity, like Stonehenge or how did they build the pyramids and stuff like this. But I think the 9:30 time slot is the more interesting thing on the Friday night because, of course, that's going to be huge competition with TV3's Comedy Night.
Yes, where they've currently got Jackie Brown at that time.
They do, yeah. I mean, Jackie Brown will be finished pretty soon, but it's what's going to be filling it next year.
To be honest, I caught my first episode of this new Jackie Brown season on Friday night, and I know, I kind of need perspective and seen the other episodes, but I thought that Jackie Brown had jumped the shark.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Again, a polarising character.
I just thought, okay, so a lot of money has obviously been injected into the show now.
Oh, yeah.
And I can see where it's been spent, but has it been spent wisely, and has it stayed true to what it was? No.
Oh, you're just jealous that you didn't have James Coleman's role.
Yeah, right.
So we've got that, and then, again, the big thing about that comedy night, though, is that Rove's gone.
Yeah.
Rove's gone. He just got up on stage and said, catch you later.
Did you shed a tear?
It was a weird show to watch. I didn't cry over it. I like the show, but I've never been a massive addicted fan or anything. But I watched it, and it was just a very strange, and I thought to myself, for a show that's this massive, it's really interesting that, there was no lead in. It rated quite mildly. I mean, I reckon they could have had, 1.5, 1.8 million viewers on that last episode if they promoted it as the last episode.
I had heard that ratings were falling. Now, is that a reason, do you think, why?
Well, I just think, again, there is some story not being told with this thing. There's a massively popular show. He's an incredibly talented guy. I think the show did need an overhaul or something. I think 10 years, and it was still getting about 780,000, which is not bad, but it could be doing better. So, yeah, I don't know. Something has happened in the background, and I'm not sure what it is, but we'll maybe one day we'll find out, maybe we'll not, maybe one of those sort of great mysteries of television.
Now, what are they going to fill it with, do you think? Here on 3?
Well, my suggestion to them would be to play 2 episodes of Glee and catch up, but I doubt they'll do that. I mean, everyone knows I'm a bit of a Glee fan, but I don't know. I absolutely don't know. I think that would be the question that was running through their mind in a cold sweat when they got the news last Sunday night. Will it be more local New Zealand comedy? Maybe that's a good point. Maybe there's a chance here to actually do like a Rove-type talk show and stuff, but I just don't know if the money is floating around.
I don't think we have the... I know this is being awfully negative. I don't think I'm being tall puppy to say, though, that I just don't think we have the personalities to pull off that type of show.
No, well, I guess, we have this tendency in New Zealand to always take the same presenters. So, maybe if we got a whole bunch of the same presenters and put them together, we could work, So, like, we'll get Jason Gunn. He's on everything. Simon Barnett. In fact, they're both in Christchurch. We could film the damn thing in Christchurch.
At Jason Gunn Studios.
Yeah, exactly. We've got McPhail and Gadsby down there. We could trot them out. God, I think we're on to a winner here.
We could use some B-rolls from Billy T's outcuts or something.
We could. I just feel sorry for people that do try. I mean, we have failed abysmally, and even Sports Cafe, if you know the history of how that came about, that was like a complete accident. It was supposed to be John Kerwin on the first night hosting, not Mark Ellis, but John couldn't make it, so Mark was the ringer.
All right.
Pretty damn good ringer for a show that made the amount of money as it did.
Actually, talking about that, I did see a great show. I thought it was really good. How the Other Half Live.
Yes.
Mark Ellis.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, that's not the first season of that. He's done that before.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's It's one of the better ideas that have come out of iWorks.
Yeah, I really enjoyed us visiting a hippie-type commune in Golden Bay.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. When I saw a few seasons ago, he was he was with the people that walked down the drums and singing and chanting. The Hare Krishnas.
Oh, yeah.
There he was.
He shaved his head, didn't he?
He did. He shaved his head for the Hare Krishnas. Yeah. Bloody good stuff.
Good personality.
So, there's some interesting stuff coming up next year, but I fear a little bit more of the same.
Okay.
We'll see.
And if you want it fresh, then there are other ways to get it.
There are other ways to get it. And again, that wasn't mentioned at 2010 TVNZ launch. But I think, things like they're on demand are going really well. In fact, one of the interesting facts that they brought up was that people who miss an episode of a serial or a drama will return to the show. There's 13% more likely to return to the show if they can catch up with it online.
Exactly. Yep.
Interesting stuff.
And the stats say that downloads actually back up that as well. That people often use that to catch up and then go and see it back on TV. Hey, Miss Coleman-Ross from throngtv.co or throng.co.nz/TV. We'll catch you next time.